Today I'm going to work in my 2017 Composite Art Journal, and I'm going to work on a Joggles Art Adventures prompt. The prompt is Scallops. I am going to use my FineLine Paint Applicator, and I'm just going to draw some across the page as you would think of crochet, such as this. Then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to come back and do some coloration on the page. So I'm just going to get started. When I'm finished, I will come back and chat about it. This page is very wet, but I want to come in close and show you the texture left by the craft paint. This is just plain white craft paint in my FineLine Paint Applicator. Now I'm going to let this dry, and it dries very much like an embossed area. And then tomorrow I'll come back and put some colorization on the page. What I have here is my page of scallops, and it's dry, and I wish you could see the texture on this page. Isn't this cool? Now what I want to do next is experiment a little. I really haven't done this, but I'm pretty sure that it'll work. I have some Liquitex matte medium, and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to brush it lightly over these scallops. In fact, I just may take my finger and do it because what I've done is take this Liquitex matte medium and I applied it to the raised portions of my scallops. And what I want to happen is I have some paint over here that I've mixed up in sort of a rose peachy color, and I want some of that to soak through, and then I want to be able to wipe up portions of it. So let's see what happens. Oh, yes. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. My page is finished. I am really happy with it. Very, very happy with it. Now, I'm not sure what you're seeing, but I'm seeing a pinkish red around the border and kind of a yellow, tannish coral color. I think the light hits it pretty bright from my light, but if you could see that. And then I use craft paint in my FineLine Paint Applicator. This is an 18 gauge nozzle. It's a standard nozzle. And I applied that textural scallop effect using my FineLine Paint Applicator. And when it dries very, very textural. It's very thick. Now, it depends on the paint that you're using and the type of paper that you're using. I have tried this same effect on like a brown craft paper, a brown paper sack, just a grocery bag, and I do not get the same thickness of the paint. I believe this watercolor paper has a property that will act as sort of a coating. I think the craft paper, the brown paper bag, soaks it in a little bit more. It still works, but it's not a thick line such as you get here. This is very textured. Then after that dried, you let this dry completely after you put on these lines, because if you don't let it dry completely, you will smudge it. And then after it dries completely, then I went in with this Liquitex matte medium. You could use a gloss if you want. I have the matte medium, and I applied it lightly over the page so it just touches these raised areas. And I let that dry, and then I go over it with a mixture of different craft paints here. I mixed this sort of a terracotta coral color in here. So I'm very, very happy with this effect. I really do like it. So this is my answer to the Scallops prompt. This is nothing more than probably a background page. I think of it as maybe a zoom in or a simulation of a crocheted afghan. Perhaps a doily, some type of effect like that. There really isn't a picture or a story or anything. This is more an experimentation of the technique. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's a really fun answer to the prompt of Scallops. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next page.